All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Redlock round of 16. We got a banger coming up. Seed number 6 versus seed number 11 in qualifiers. We got fireblaze3028 versus LynVA. Today I am consumer of bean, as I have been for many years, and I will be commentating. And I am joined by the lovely Suicune3. Care to introduce yourself?
Good evening, Bean. Yet another American has come to invade the commentary booth for this lovely Saturday night matchup between these two players. I believe one of the last winners bracket matches that I think needs to be played. Nope, just kidding. I forgot. There's a whole bunch of them that got scheduled to tomorrow. GG. But needless to say, the last match for this Saturday block. Nonetheless, and we're getting into roles. I don't know if either of these players are opting to have warm-ups. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. In the meantime, Lyn opting to have second pick here, which I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I expect to see Lyn banning these hiddens because Fireblaze is good at hidden. Like, good at hidden. But Fireblaze, ban-wise, I don't know. Probably just whatever individual maps that they're not feeling comfortable on, because they are a very strong player on pretty much every skill set here. Maybe banning out that tech. I'm not sure. Yep, we do see Lyn banning Hidden 2 immediately. Exactly what you'd expect. Not a commonly played map this block. I don't think it's survived the ban phase yet.
It is a very difficult reading map, a much larger step up in difficulty compared to last week. PW384 is known to make some darn hellishly cooked reading maps, and this one is no exception. Not surprised to see that one off the table, especially from Lyn, not a particularly strong, AR8 hidden player either, as we do see Hard Rock 3 and DT2 immediately banned against Lyn by Fireblaze.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable pick, because those are two maps where I think Lyn could easily just FC, and then it gets dicey for Fireblaze. And if you're Fireblaze, you want to keep those maps kind of out of the rotation here. Any maps where, Lyn can confidently FC, you don't want to be playing, if you can absolutely help it, because you do have the seed advantage here, and, generally speaking, if you put these two players in a head-to-head, Fireblaze is usually going to win. But in a pool like this, in this early stage, there is no guarantee on anything. And we do see Fireblaze getting the first pick here. I'm predicting probably maybe a DT1 or a DT3? Picking into those more mechanics and technical maps.
Hidden 1 is still open as a result of, Lyn banning out, Hidden 3 on the final. I don't know if Fireblaze should necessarily pick into Hidden 1 first, per se. Sometimes when you have double bans on a particular mod pool from a player, sometimes you want to kind of just leave that as like a guaranteed pick to either like put yourself in a really good position, say put yourself on match point, or just outright win the match. So I think smart from Fireblaze to leave Hidden 1 open for the time being, as we do see the Nomad 4 pick come out here. Captain's extra diff on the Asilica set of Reconstruct. Good old stream tech, this map.
Yeah, I think this is a solid pick from Fireblaze going into these harder mechanical maps. They're a very strong mechanics player, and it would not surprise me to see them FC. Whereas Lyn can definitely FC as well, but I'd put the chance to be a little lower. So probably a pretty solid pick here for Fireblaze, but only one way to find out.
Yeah. Lyn's pretty good at streams, so like the tapping's not going to be an issue for Lyn at all on this. I think my biggest concern is just because of how some of these streams are mapped to, a song like this, they're definitely going to be a lot more finicky than, just your general, Nomad 2 type stream. So we'll have to see how well Lyn can manage that kind of aim control on top of just regular stream happening as we do see the early break come out from Lyn on one of those triple patterns.
Yeah, hopefully won't matter too much here. Hacks are about even here going into this first drop. I apologize.
Yeah.
It is actually the slow part before the drop. My fault.
It's okay. Needless to say, the accuracy, like you said, being pretty much even. The score lead pretty much just off of, the early, the FC versus the not FC, but we do get these 1/3s here. So far, not tripping up either of them. There's another one before a short break in the middle of the map. And they both get through them. So it's the FC advantage still for Fireblaze. Lyn not too far behind. If Fireblaze breaks and Lyn holds, this score lead goes straight back in Lyn's favor.
Yeah, but that's a big if. We do need to see that break out of Fireblaze, which not guaranteed in the slightest, and we do need to see Lyn hold, which is also not a guarantee, as we get into the hardest part of the map here. Lots of these more technical jumps and slider patterns, and bursts. And Lyn finds the break, and it's just gonna explode in favor of Fireblaze here. Very comfortable first map pick here, even if it was kind of dicey in the middle.
Yeah, unlucky what appeared to be a miss-aim on the bottom right as getting into the end of that stream from Lyn. Ultimately, don't think it matters. One, Fireblaze still FCing, and two, just also down in accuracy, now about 0.5% on this ending. And yeah, I mean, both players hitting the ending pretty well, but hats off to Fireblaze.
Very solid first pick.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that.
Can't complain at all. Still a very solid score from Lyn. 600k, pretty much matching accuracies with Fireblaze as well. Just finding that unlucky break at the start and then the one miss on the bottom right of that stream during that final Ki section. Would have been competitive to say the least, but sometimes you just gotta FC to even stand a chance on some of these maps.
We do see this DT3 pick. Absolute banger. DT alt. A little bit technical, but mostly just alt. Lots of linears, lots of awkward aim. But let's be honest. Lyn probably picked this because it's a banger.
Yep.
Banger buff is real. Pick the bangers, you win. Everyone knows this.
This is factual information. How else are you supposed to, have fun on the game and play well if you're molding about, the songs? Here we go into this DT3. We see early breaks from both players, pretty much at the exact same time. Fireblaze breaking a little bit earlier, finds another drop there though, so hands that combo lead right back to Lyn. We'll see how long Lyn is able to hold, and the answer is not very long, as we're seeing a constant back and forth on this one. Slider breaks only from Lyn so far, whereas Fireblaze has found a few actual drops.
Yeah, not a strong start for me to play here, showing a little bit of that uncomfortability, maybe because of the high AR, or maybe because of the more technical aim, but either way, Fireblaze finds a pretty big drop there, and if Lyn can hold here, that's going to give a lot of points. Might be able to take this lead back. It's shrinking.
Lyn does need a hold for a
right into the next break.
Amount, though.
Continues to hold. 238 points in Lyn's favor.
238, but it's a lead nonetheless. Lyn needs to hold for a bit. He's down about 1% in accuracy, so that scored that deficit.
Oh, but another break from Fireblaze. That's gonna help a lot. And we're starting to see. Oh, but Lyn breaks. But that's not a bad thing for Lyn because it is a reset for both players, and Lyn does hold that slight score lead. And as we get
Slight
closer to the next
lead.
break here, Lynn is going to be holding. Oh, and both players find a break on that huge linear. That's good for Lynn. Still a 20k
Very
difference. Not great, but it is something. Both players probably super nervous here. Fireblaze wanting to consolidate the point here. Lynn just desperately not wanting to give away that break point. As we get into the last tricky part here, we'll see if that Dairy Queen that Lynn ordered gives the buff necessary to close this point out. This last part is pretty easy compared to the previous parts, but there's still a little bit of awkwardness that can trip you up. But that's good for Lynn because, you know, you don't want a hard part right at the end.
I think
Should
he's
let
still
him get away with this.
Yeah, unless something like super
If
catastrophic
Fireblaze find
happens.
breaks, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Both players taking their first pick. This one a little closer than that previous one, but if you're Lynn, that's all you need is one extra point over Fireblaze to win a map. And I mean, that's all you got to do. Win by a point, and you're chilling. Just don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not,
Just better combo throughout.
the player who wins will win the match. That's my insight for you tonight.
That's revolutionary, Bean.
Thanks. I've been thinking about that for a while. We do see the Nomad 3 pick come out from Fireblaze. This is a very traditional Monstrata alt map from 2017, the Dark Ages.
I remember watching people fail on this map in OWC. This was in that era of tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, this would be like the first year we had Score V2, I believe. Or was it 2018? I don't know. One of the years.
2015 had V2.
Did 2015 have V2? Is it really that old? Damn.
Yeah. 2015
That's crazy.
had V2. Yeah. Maybe even
Yeah.
2014? I don't know. 2015
No, because I think 2015 was the first to have it.
Yeah, I think it was 15.
Because that's the year where the toy Furioso Melodia clip.
Yep. Toy failed.
Yeah.
Legendary tiebreaker. Just a legendary match overall.
Absolutely. But yeah. Just 4 minutes of these alt patterns. Just a pure consistency test. Kind of an interesting pick from Fireblaze in my opinion, because Lynn is a pretty competent alt player. And I don't know, maybe it's just a banger buff type of pick, which, you know, perfectly logical, but I don't know if I'd really give either of these players like a significant advantage in the alt department, especially at this star rating.
I don't think so. I think Fireblaze is probably counting on, you know, just the volatility.
Oh, but Lynn finds a
map
break
in
on
general.
absolutely fucking nothing.
right as I was saying it, you know, the volatility of a map like this, you know, you can just miss on literal air. And Fireblaze
Well, there goes Fireblaze.
has also missed on literal air now. A little bit less literal air compared to Lynn's miss before the Ki, but
Yeah, at least
nonetheless
that was a pattern.
miss. Yeah.
But still, both players pulling misses, and Lynn having that little bit of accuracy advantage is actually going to be pretty big. Especially if they both stabilize for a while here. Because there's lots of combo in this map. It's just non-stop combo.
Yeah.
And Lynn having that
part is
little tiny bit of an advantage is going to let him take the lead here, as long as nothing goes terribly wrong.
Yeah,
And
this
it
part is
hasn't
also
yet.
pretty free. Yeah, pretty free combo here as well. I mean, like, with like 130 combo lead and about a 0.3% accuracy lead, should start to grow a somewhat healthy lead. Not sizable by any means, but it's definitely something to work with as long as he's able to hold. But again,
Yeah, but Fireblaze also has to hold. And that scary pattern, no one trips up on it, that accelerating stream, that screwed me over a bunch. That's for sure.
But they've found their
Both
footing
players are
so
hitting
far.
these. No problem so far. As Lynn's score lead just slowly expands here, just from that tiny bit of extra AC and extra combo.
Alright,
Into this
funny
last
pattern
third of the
coming
map.
up.
And Lynn finds the break on the funny pattern. Fireblaze is holding.
Yeah, looks like
Can
an
Fireblaze keep
overing.
holding?
And he's holding still.
It's looking like it. And there's not a ton of combo left in the map to take over, so Fireblaze is gonna have to find a miss pretty soon here. As the combo exceeds over 1,000, Fireblaze is gonna start running away with this. Already 60k after, you know, the entire map was a 20k difference at most up until this point. Yeah, unfortunately for Lyn, that miss on the funny pattern is just gonna cost him everything.
Yeah.
But not a huge deal breaker though. That is Fireblaze's pick. This isn't a breakpoint or anything, so nothing dramatic, nothing, you know, catastrophic. Just an unfortunate miss on a tricky pattern.
Alright, does Fireblaze hit the final funny pattern?
The wiggle. Let's check who can wiggle. Any wigglers in this lobby? Both are wigglers.
They are wigglers.
We will be wiggling.
Yeah, unlucky over aim there. It looked like from Lyn on that on the funny pattern.
Yeah, the trickiest pattern in the map. But that did allow Lyn to get a funny number for the combo, so...
Yeah.
And we do see Lyn definitely leaning into the song Aura buff with Livin' La Vida Loca DT1 pick. Bit more of a traditional DT map. Not really a farm map, but, you know, something you'd see a few years ago. Couple of triples, and there's like 1 9 burst in here, but it's 90% just the aim. Mostly comfy, a little bit of linear and uncomfy aim.
Yeah.
Very standard mapping.
Yeah, pretty bog standard. AR 10.3 as well. Both of these players should be pretty comfortable with the AR. We did see them struggle a little bit on DT3. I'm attributing that more to just overall DT3 patterning, because DT3 is also AR 10.3 from what I remember.
And 10.3 is much easier on these like more traditional aim maps than on alt maps, in my opinion. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is.
I think it's just because the maps themselves are typically easier to process.
Mayhaps. Shoutouts to Shrek for the custom song for this tournament. They've actually never used the song before. Fireblaze finds an early break, but that shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, very early slider break. Hopefully just shaking out some of those map nerves. Literally me earlier today, I reverse choking like every map I was in for today.
I'm so excited to do that in NIDT. Lyn finds a break on air, unfortunately, which is pretty major now. We're definitely into the map at this point. But that little bit of back advantage is going to help soften the blow. Regardless, that score lead is still going to flip over to Fireblaze. Never mind, it's not going to do that at all. I'm such a liar.
No, finds an over-aim on the triangle at the end of that Ki section, so not able to capitalize off of Lyn's earlier mishap, which means Lyn now has the combo advantage. A pretty
and another break for Fireblaze
that.
On nothing. As we get into the second Ki here, Lyn is looking pretty good. Starting to pull away with the score here with the 300 combo. But he has to hold. Any break here and that could be it. Because you can't count on Fireblaze to be missing more. But actually Fireblaze does miss more. And Lyn is going to be able to expand that lead. I don't know if maybe a little uncomfortable on the AR or what, because I mean Fireblaze, misses that hard pattern too. That's what caught up Jamara in the last match. But Lyn's just nailing it. Lyn is just the greatest to ever do it. Apparently, I'm not biased at all.
No, but I mean, if you look at the cursors, you can just see how smoother Lyn's cursor is snapping to, each of these notes, whereas Fireblaze, you can kind of see, the reading struggles. When you typically struggle, with reading like a map, you kind of just start failing your cursor everywhere, and, it's having its toll on the back half of this map, and Lyn looking ever so solid.
Looking so good on these jumps. But yeah, Fireblaze just not able to find the footing on this map, and that's going to be another point for Lyn, the most dominant point so far, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only more Nomad 4, I think, was more dominant just because, you know, Fireblaze FC'd and Lyn dropped, you know, like 500k, but this is a close contender.
I don't know. I think it might actually be a 500k score cap by the end. Pretty close, 468. That might be a bigger gap. Let's check here.
Very large gap indeed. Just that one slider break from Lyn early on, reverse choke on this. Very solid performance from Lyn.
Yeah, that's a bigger gap than Nomad 4 for sure. Lyn did an incredible job holding on to that DT1. Just never let go.
Yeah.
Fireblaze really struggling there, just not able to find any sort of grip.
No.
But that's the DT pool exhausted, so Lyn is going to have to find something else, unfortunately for him. Let's see what we have left here. So we've got Nomad 5, the rhythm map, the classic Devious Panda style. Got Hidden 1, which is what gets picked. Tension. Yeah, this is about what you'd expect Fireblaze to pick after Lyn double bans the hiddens. This is a bit more of like a normal aim hidden map, like the kind of weird stuff you'd see in the traditional HD1 slot. But Lyn should not be entirely outclassed on this, I don't think. Because we're not really at that star rating where I think Lyn falls off, especially on these like AR 9.6 sorts of maps where the hidden isn't like a huge component, whereas like in an AR8 map, it's just like an entirely different game.
Yeah, I mean, this is
as the bullets come out, we're back in the map.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the most accessible type of, you know, hidden map that is open. Like, very smart bans from Lyn to ban out, you know, AR8 hidden, which Lyn has never been, you know, particularly strong at, and then obviously, and then banning out Hidden 3 Mole, which, you know, is a pretty hidden specialist favored map. When you slap hidden onto a tech map most of the time.
Early break for Lyn here as we get into the map. Shouldn't matter too much, but honestly Lyn is looking a little more comfortable even with that break considering these accuracies, but obviously it's just the early part of the map, so bit of an adjustment period for both players, but that is going to favor Fireblaze. Just that 100 combo lead here. Both players looking pretty good on these hidden jumps though so far.
Yeah, very solid indeed. Fireblaze still having the FC advantage, but down just ever so slightly in accuracy. Any mishap from Fireblaze means Lyn can easily take it back.
But also, any miss from Lyn is just that much more devastating if he does miss because of that early miss, just dropping his score by about 40k so far. And with a map that's kind of on the shorter end like this one at only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, those early breaks can start to matter if both players are holding huge combos. And as we get into the halfway point here, Fireblaze and Lyn are still holding these combos, so it's really just going to be a matter of who falls first here, if anyone.
But they both still hold on.
Yeah, but now we're getting these really tricky mixed aim patterns. A little bit of the Kami no Kotoba triangles, and Lyn finds the break. Fireblaze is just going to run away with this one for sure, and that's, you know, kind of the expected result here. Unfortunately for Lyn, just not as competent on the hidden as Fireblaze, who is, you know, really solid on these hidden maps. But now we'll just have to see if Fireblaze can carry on an FC here. It's looking good, almost to 800k score.
Yeah, Lyn just not able to find a footing on this back half of the map.
Yeah, it can be so tricky once you've missed that first time. You know, it's kind of like that internal metronome is just gone for these hidden jumps. And Fireblaze does find the break at the end, but it is going to be an over 900k score from him. Also a very dominant map here for Fireblaze, 400k in favor, and that's going to put Fireblaze up 3-2 against Lyn. Now, unfortunately for Lyn, this is the point in the match where I don't think that he has any extremely strong picks over Fireblaze. I think it's just going to be a matter of picking the map that you feel the best on and hoping you can execute what you got on your locals.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that sentiment.
We do see
Yeah,
Nomad 5
Nomad-
coming out. That's the Devious Panda rhythm map.
Okay.
Honestly,
Rhythm
not my expected pick.
wasn't my expected pick either. I was more thinking akin to something like the Hard Rock 1, I think.
Yeah, I honestly kind of expected Nomad 1. Is that up right now? I think it's still up.
Nomad 1 is in fact up.
But this might not be a bad idea for Lyn. And as we see Fireblaze dropping the I definitely practiced this map a lot, maybe Lyn's probably just giggling to himself right now, realizing that he's got this guy right where he wants him. So as long as Lyn has practiced this map, and Lyn is not bad at these rhythm maps.
Yeah. Well, let's see whose trap card is more effective, shall we?
Yeah. Let's see if that DQ buff is still in play.
Very slow intro to the map.
Yeah, this is a little on the longer side at that 3-minute 30-second mark, especially for this pool where the average length is pretty short. But now that we're in the map, it's just gonna be this for the next 3 minutes. Lots of 1/6, 1/8, and Fireblaze finds an early break, as well as much worse accuracy overall.
Yeah, found a full chain of 50s on one of those earlier bursts. And just constantly, it's just struggling to kind of maintain some tapping accuracy as we get into this little snapping change section.
Meanwhile, Lyn's still holding this FC, and the solid 97 to 98-ish ACK. Definitely showing that he's practiced at least a little bit on this map. Because this is not an easy map to ACK your first sight, or your first time, like, it's just not. I think I got like 93 or something my first play on this. It was not pretty. Not pretty at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best I ever mustered on this was like a 91. Granted, I'm tapping gapped on like half of these patterns. Oh, that's...
And we do see another break from Fireblaze, and another one. Lyn is looking so much more comfortable on this. Very well practiced.
That slider break was so sad. I feel Fireblaze on that kind of slider break so much. Unfortunately, it just doesn't matter, because he was already down in combo and accuracy against Lyn, and...
Yeah. As we get into the slow part halfway through, Lyn is still looking so comfortable. Does drop a bunch of 50s, maybe a little bit of shakiness there, but is holding the combo still. Does find the break, but it's a 100k score gap for Lyn here, so as long as there's not a complete meltdown, Fireblaze is not going to be able to make up that 100k by combo alone. And with another break...
Ooh, I was going to say, crucially for Fireblaze, Lyn's accuracy has actually dropped below his now. Unfortunately, that break just, I think, closed any possibility of him taking a breakpoint on this map, barring Lyn getting smitten.
Lyn does find a nonsense break.
Nope, that's Bancho. That is Bancho.
That's a Bancho break. That's a Bancho break. I love Peppy. Thanks, Peppy. Alright. I love Peppy.
I love Tourney Client.
Yes, we all love Tournament Client in this household. Fireblaze is finding another break. Hopefully that one's real. That should seal it for Lyn.
Yeah, I think both of those breaks were real. Yeah, and resets just favor whoever's ahead at this point, and Lyn's up over 100,000 points versus Fireblaze on this.
Yeah,
just getting some formalities.
Kind of found that hidden weakness of Fireblaze here, who I would normally not like put at a huge disadvantage for these maps, but clearly just did not either have the time or the willpower to practice this. And these maps are always going to favor whoever practices them at the end of the day. As we close out the map here, Lyn is going to take that third point, and we are still dead even. No breakpoints, no nothing. Absurdly normal match so far.
But we're getting into the final picks from both of these players, Bean.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if you're Fireblaze here, what are you most comfortable on? What are you feeling? Probably not the tapping. Because Lynn is feeling pretty good on that tapping right now. I cannot lie to you.
Yep.
Maybe a no mod 1, but Lynn is also not bad at the aim either, and that's such an easy map to be inconsistent on with those weird full screen jumps. There is that Hard Rock 1 and Hard Rock 2 still up. Maybe Fireblaze could try and abuse Lynn on the precision.
Launch precision is a skill set of its own.
Yeah, that precision map is nuts. Like, I'm not good at that one at all. I cannot do Fenjin hidden, or Fenjin precision at all.
Yeah, it's a devious map. 135 BPM on top of it.
And yeah, Fireblaze is gonna go for it. Very much one of those maps where I'm not expecting either player to really FC, but I think Fireblaze does have the higher skill cap for the skill set. So we'll have to see if Lynn can pull off the strong performance here. It is a short map. This is the kind of map where, you know, if both players are feeling it, one break could really be the difference maker, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think both players are going to struggle a little bit. Remindra, there has not been a breakpoint. It has been dead-ass normal Osu gameplay where everyone picks the maps they're good at and wins them. This has been a very normal match.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately.
But this could spice things up. With how short Dance All Night is, like, every single break counts. Every single break. It's not like you can
and Lynn is playing the wrong map. Alright, great start.
Lynn just wants to run back No Mod 5. He already won it, might as well pick it again.
Shouts to Peppy. Alright, extremely early break for Lynn.
Yep.
But yeah, every break matters. Every miss matters, every 100 matters, to be honest. Like, it's not that short of a map, but like, dropping ACK is just never gonna help you. And unfortunately, Lynn is struggling on the ACK department. Both players find a break, but that does favor Fireblaze ever so slightly.
Lynn's just tapping ever so slightly early on some
and does find another break. Not a strong start for Lynn. Not looking great on the breakpoint potential here. Yeah, just not able to hit these classic Fanjin jumps.
Yeah, this map is so awkward for a precision map.
It is. It's nasty. Like, it's disgusting.
It's almost catered to like just pure precision specialists, really.
It's catered to freaks. It's catered to weirdos.
My bad, bro.
No flame. Freaks and weirdos, parentheses, positive connotation. Both players do find a break, but that reset is going to heavily favor Fireblaze here, and it's already 100k.
Yeah, Fireblaze would literally need to stop playing. I don't even think a disconnect or a lobby kick would save Lynn at this point.
I don't know, maybe, but Lynn would have to hold for the rest of the map, and Fireblaze would have to gain 0 points.
Fireblaze would have to lose points, I think.
But yeah, the extremely normal match continues as we see another map without a breakpoint. Every player winning their picks. Most of these picks have been not all that close, to be honest. A couple have been closer than others, but yeah, and 100k is going to be the score difference as we go into the final pick of the match here. Lynn is back against the wall, trying to force the tiebreaker here.
Clean 474,000 flat, by the way.
Right on the Yep. I can't even speak properly. I said it was a long day earlier, and it hadn't been a long day, and it still hasn't been a long day, but I'm going to say it again. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
The Insta Kamui from Lynn. Honestly, probably the best possible pick here.
I think so as well.
Hoping for the SS.
Yep. Oh, let's pray you don't get buzz slidered randomly.
I don't think there's much of getting buzz slidered. Unless you're not paying attention.
I mean, you say that. I think we've seen like 3 people get buzz slidered.
They should have played Kamui better.
They should have just played Kamui better.
Boomer check, and you know, honestly, if it's a boomer check here, let's take a look at the join dates. Fireblaze joined in October 2016, and LynVA in November 2016. Oh no!
Oh,
Lynn's cooked. Lynn's cooked.
Uh-oh.
It's over. Oh, LynVA wants to run it back on Dance All
my
Night.
days!
If we could get a panic on the client.
Turny client, please.
We love Peppy and his netcode in this household, don't we, fellas?
Amen.
But yeah, both players holding the SS early here. Fireblaze finds a drop on nothing. I hope that was real and not Bancho.
No,
that's great for Lynn.
That looked real. It looks like misaimed that corner turn. So not only finding a drop, but finding it pretty massive chain miss there.
Yeah, Lynn's holding this very clean SS, whereas Fireblaze is not doing that well, and this is only OD7, so like, dropping 100s on this is kind of unfortunate, really. And we go into the first big stream here. Let's see if both players can hit this. And both players do hit it. And no players get buzz slidered either. So now we go into this little aim section right before the next long stream.
Fireblaze has recovered the combo. If Lynn drops, it's bad news bears, but Lynn just looks so good. Still double S-ing that. Fireblaze, again, respectfully holding on. Very scary jump coming up. You are correct. We'll see who hits that. If Fireblaze hits the jump and Lynn misses, there might still be a chance.
It might be cooked. But that's if Lynn misses. Which he does not. Holding this SS. LynVA. The greatest to ever do it. Holding this SS. Oh, drops the 100 right at the end of that slider and last stream here. Please don't chain miss. Please don't chain miss. Okay. Does miss at the end. Doesn't matter. 960k for Lynn, and we're going to tiebreaker.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
What a match. Very well done by Lynn. Respect to Fireblaze, aside from that one early drop, FC'd the rest of the map. Unfortunately, you missed at the start, Lynn missed at the end, at the very end. Unlucky, bro.
TB alert. Beyond the Edge. Limitless. By Mir. Shoutouts to the country of Germany for this one.
Shoutouts to the country of Germany.
And the household of Mir Osu.
Bro mapped this live on his stream as well. I don't actually know who's favored on this tiebreaker.
I think if either of these players play this beforehand, they're favored. But it appears they haven't. Yeah, Lynn says, who's to say? Yeah, bro did not play this.
Yeah, bro did not play this. But here we go. Winners bracket lives on the line here for both of these players. It's been an incredibly close match, score-wise. There have been some blowout points. There have been some somewhat close-ish points. Nothing has been, too particularly close per se, but it all comes down to this: 5 minutes and 43 seconds of tiebreaker to play out.
Yep. And this map mixes basically every skill set in the game that isn't low AR reading. It is a more technical tiebreaker, but if Fireblaze hasn't played this before, and Lyn has, then it's entirely possible that Lyn has the upper hand here.
Yeah. We've seen...
Also, go on.
I was gonna say, we've seen, Fireblaze has performed better on, the tech maps, and, we did see, Lyn ban out Hidden 3, so in that regard, this should favor Fireblaze. However, when it comes to just the raw tapping, Lyn has come out on top in a lot of the tapping maps compared to Fireblaze, so we'll have to see how well they're able to put an entire run on this map together. It's an early lead for Fireblaze, up about 1% in accuracy.
Yeah, and I will note, Lyn has played a lot of tiebreakers in tournaments. I am not as familiar with Fireblaze. I don't know how many tiebreakers they've had to play, but Lyn is used to this. There is no nerves in this guy's body. This guy don't get nervous. He does find the first big break, though, in this first tech section. Not what you want to see if you're on Team LynVA, but Fireblaze does trade it out. So we're basically dead even here. 8k score in favor of Lyn, and that ACK has dropped for Fireblaze. Great start if you're on Team LynVA to win the World Cup here.
And you can kind of see the tapping in these sections here. Fireblaze finding an early tap on one of those Quints there, dropping a 50.
Oh, and drops on nothing!
Oh!
400 combo advantage for Lyn onto this crazy tech section. Let's see how long he can hold. Oh, he's played this map before. Don't tell me this is sight read. No shot.
No.
This guy has practiced the map. And Fireblaze finds another break, but so does Lyn. But that score lead has swapped in Lyn's favor just by 2k points.
It's still so incredibly close, though. Both players have dropped so much accuracy on these sliders in this particular section here.
Yeah, and Lyn is keep dropping accuracy, and that's going to switch the score lead over to Fireblaze as they're in a dead even combo right now. Oh, and Lyn finds a break on that slider tick. That is going to favor Fireblaze.
But he dropped a lot of vac on that slider stream. He's still holding on to a slight combo advantage halfway through, but that ACK drop is saving Lyn right now. Still keeping this pretty darn close.
Yeah, well, in a map this long and with so much combo, that 200 combo is not going to be that much. All it takes is one more break for Fireblaze, and Lyn can take this. But same goes for LynVA. Once we get into the last drop here, anything goes.
Both players maintaining respectable accuracy in this low section. Lyn finding a few more hundreds compared to Fireblaze, which means accuracy growing ever so slightly in favor of Fireblaze. The very slightest of score leads for him as well with this combo advantage.
If you're either of these players, you just need to not miss. But Fireblaze misses!
Oh,
huge team miss, and Lyn is now in the lead by 13k.
No, that is a massive blunder on that stream. I wonder if he might have double tapped one of the notes and just ended up hitting the entire pattern early to the point of breaking on it.
But now we're in the last drop here. Lyn needs to hold. Lyn needs to hold if he wants to secure this map and this match. Because Fireblaze is right on this guy's tail, but 400 combo in Lyn's favor right now. Lyn does find a break.
And Fireblaze is holding
to miss for Lyn to win. But if Fireblaze holds, he can take the score back.
You can see how early some of these taps are coming from Fireblaze, though. Multiple really early 50s. Any other mishap like that could result in Fireblaze breaking, but he's holding on through this section exceptionally well. Lyn trying to build up some combo back up, but dropping a little bit of accuracy again means Fireblaze back in the lead, but you can see
Lyn finds another huge break! Oh, but Fireblaze also finds a break, but that favors Fireblaze, as there's a 13k score lead in favor of Fireblaze right now.
This ending is still so volatile. Dude, you can-
Fireblaze finds a shitload of 50s, what the hell is that? And another break!
As well. I wonder if he's either just double tap. I wonder if his keyboard or keypad or something is just constantly double tapping. That last break was actually Bancho though, so I think Fireblaze is still in the clear.
Oh, thanks, Bancho. And we're going right into the end of map here. 8k score difference in favor of Fireblaze.
I think he's got it. I think he has it.
I think he has it. I don't know if there's a spinner at the end of this map. Lynn, you need to get ready to spin, buddy.
It's
Oh,
not
that's
long
not a
enough.
spinner. All right, and just by 9,500 points, Fireblaze takes that tiebreaker. Absolute nail biter. Amazing try from Lynn, but that's just not gonna be enough. As Fireblaze takes this winner's bracket match, and Lynn is gonna drop to the loser's bracket. What a crazy match. Just dead heat entire match. No breakpoints dropped by either player, and then 9K right at the end.
You can see how close that was, though. 26 50s from Fireblaze made this, I think, so much more closer than it really seemed. Because, like, Fireblaze was just holding on for so much more combo compared to Lynn. It's just, you know, those types of axe drops can really kill, you know, a score lead. But in the end, he still manages to pull through nonetheless in this nail-biter of a tiebreaker.
Yeah, and it
victory.
does look like you were right about the keypad issues, because right before we went to the screen, Fireblaze did mention that his rapid trigger was misbehaving. So I wonder if that was a big part of those 50s. But yeah, unfortunately for Lynn, it's just barely not enough, and he will drop down to the loser's bracket here. So that puts us in a situation where Fireblaze will be going against Wandario next week. That's our 3rd seed and 6th seed against each other. And LynVA will drop to match 40, which is going to be the winner of Sidetrack Day versus Wukio.
And
Lots of exciting matches coming up tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
But that'll be it for tonight.
Yeah.
This is kind of a silly song, isn't it? But yeah, we have a bunch of matches tomorrow in a huge block. 20 UTC, 21 UTC, 22 UTC, 2230 UTC, 23 UTC, and 0 UTC. I think it even goes past that. I think it was like to 1? No, it stops at 0. Okay, awesome.
No. Last matchups for this weekend do end up with Rip Me to Shreds versus Marwin and Azer versus Vesperit. But as for this Saturday night block, I think that just about concludes it for us here, Bean. What say you?
Yeah, that was one hell of a way to end it, at least. That's probably the closest match that I've seen so far this tournament. I think that might be our first tiebreaker as well, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know if we had a tiebreaker earlier this stage.
No, I don't think we had one last round. And
absolute nail-biter of a match to finish it off tonight. But yeah, that'll do it for us for tonight. Our next match will be Rumindra versus Non-Cycle at 20 UTC tomorrow. That's going to be a banger. You don't want to miss it. But until then, that's it from us. And we will talk to y'all tomorrow. I think Dio is on that.
I think we'll see Dio back here tomorrow in the booth for that.
Dio and Wilted Rose.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you all for coming in tonight and watching that absolute banger of a match. GG, well played to both players. Insane performance out of both of them. And have a great rest of your Saturday night.
Bye for now.